Here we got complex numbers and operations. Let's get to it. So first of all, you would ask yourself, what the heck is a complex number? It can be kind of confusing sometimes, maybe a little complex. But all it is a combination or a set of a real component and an imaginary component. And these are usually set up in the form a plus bi. A being the real component, b being a real coefficient, and I being the square root of -1. You'll have to remember that one for later. Alright, now let's talk about adding them together. It's pretty simple. So you got a plus bi. Let's throw some more terms in there. How about a c plus a di? Even better. Now all you gotta do when adding complex numbers is just combine like terms. There you go. Let's try a real example with some real numbers. Alright, let's combine these like terms. 3, 1. Superb. Let's add a 2i and a 7i. Well, howdy doody, that just becomes a 4 plus a 9i. There you go. There's your complex combo. Alright, now what if you want to multiply some complex number sets? Well, that's just as easy. All you gotta do is you'll take your numbers whichever ones you're multiplying, and then you just FOIL them. You would FOIL them the same way you would FOIL any two sets of numbers. Now let's see what we get when we FOIL. So we end with an I squared, you see? But remember, I is the square root of -1. So what does that become? It just becomes a -1. So that b and d will change signs because they're multiplied by a -1. Alright, let's try an example with some real numbers. As you can see, the numbers multiply together just as any numbers and variables do, even though in this case I is not a variable, but we can treat it the same way. So now we got 3 plus 23i minus 14. It changed signs because of the I squared. So then we got a total of -11 plus 23i. There are our new complex numbers. Right. What about dividing? Now it's a little bit trickier than multiplying, but we can do it. I believe in us. So what you gotta do is you'll have them set up in some kind of fractional form, and what you do is you multiply the top and the bottom both by the complex conjugate of the bottom. Conjugate being you take the bottom and change the sign between the real part and the imaginary part. This can also be thought of as the terms required to change the complex numbers into just a rational number format. But what we do is we multiply the top and the bottom both by them, and you'll probably have to FOIL it out. See, got the top all FOILed. Now we'll get the bottom. we go. The beautiful thing about the bottom is all of the i's will cancel. The I squared will turn into a -1, and the other terms with i's in them will cancel out. And so what we'll do is when we simplify out the top at the bottom, we'll break it. We'll find a common denominator and break it into one part with real numbers and one part with the imaginary component. And what that'll do is that'll get it into our new imaginary format. There we go. We've got AC minus DB is the real component, just like the A, and the ADI plus CBI is the imaginary component, just like the BI. And there is your new imaginary number set. Okay, let's do some real numbers. What does 2i over 3 minus 3i? What do we got to do? All you got to do is multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the bottom. All right, let's FOIL this out. Okay, now we got it all FOILed. Let's combine like terms. Oh no. FOILing correctly is a very important step in the process. Okay, let's combine these like terms. We would have had a 0 on bottom, and that's not allowed. No dividing by 0. Right, got our top. There we go. We got our new complex numbers. Now, let's combine all the like terms and break them into a new complex format. There we go. Broken up. Boom. That is all. Thanks for watching. Peace.